40 loops, new Jones since 22, 24, 26, 32 ounce pretty blue. Stuff in your puppy, snuffing with my buck stick. 22 cent booty pick, 24 make movie flick, 26 mile high club, 3 Sims in the bathtub, Geechee for the lap up. Pray to God you meet each other and mother some. Ex used to hate me, cause I fucked her best friend. She wanted to be a lesbian, me too. Fat bitch on the E2, back boom on eat you, beat you, slide to your own walls. Ebony, POV, met you on Pornhub. Hashtag all cash, fat ass, no water. Bookings, money daughter. Oh.
That joint
Wow.
was rocking.
That was
That joint was cranking for real.
Hey, everybody.
What's up? What's going on?
Can y'all? Oh, there you go. There you go.
What?
I guess I wasn't saying nothing, so
What's up,
probably
too?
why I couldn't hear it. You know what I mean? How's everybody feeling today?
Feeling good, man. Feeling real good.
Jen Strong, lover of life.
Wagging, actually. Wagging. Yeah. I'm wagging today, yeah.
Your man C as always.
And we are the one, the only, the
Two Real Radio.
So what's
I
up?
like
What's
that you
up?
took that over. I like that. We got a good one today, man. We got a
I'm
good.
excited.
That is a
Can we tell who
giant
we sponsored
bag.
by? We
Yes.
sponsored by a giant bag of
yes.
gummies that we can't even open. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
Them
that's how
Jones,
fancy it
them
is.
Jones people proof. You can't
That's
get
how
into
fancy it
nothing.
is.
We done
Yeah.
tried to.
Yeah.
We done tried to
Look
chew
at how
it.
Yeah, so
pretty
we
the
just gonna
bag
look at how
is.
We don't know.
pretty
Nah, we gonna get
that
into that. Somebody got something to
Somebody,
stab that
scissors,
joint with.
anybody, scissors.
Somebody in the cheap seats got something. We gonna get this open.
She
We ain't
said,
playing.
slide it my way. Yeah.
She gonna figure it out. We gonna get
Figure
into
that
that.
out
That's
for
our
us.
assistant off camera right there. Yeah. There we go. Thank you. It make it sound better with an assistant. You know what I mean?
We got out.
It's all
Oh
good.
look, we gonna get it over. We gonna get it over.
Scissors too.
We ain't playing. We ain't playing.
Hey, nah, let her struggle. Nah, I thought she was good. Go ahead, do your thing.
Why we gotta
See,
wait for the struggle
it's
move?
all
We
right.
ain't look.
Give us
Don't.
the update. Give us the update.
You
Give us
can't.
the
You can.
update.
And I don't think you can do it without the scissors now. Unless you bite like if you like shark teeth.
It's
if you like shark
another
teeth and like you know,
Rainy
and-
Friday.
and then Ted.
Hey,
And we
don't you
here
love-
with our shenanigans.
Hey, look, I don't even
don't
care
you
about
love
the rain.
live television?
I don't care. I'm all in the
Love
go.
live
I
television.
don't care nothing about the rain, man. I love it. If it rain, if it snow, if it thunder, I'm cool with it all, man. I'm here to see it, so that's the.
Happy to
It
be
slowed down.
alive.
It slowed down.
Taking it
Always.
all in.
Oh, I don't go nowhere in the rain though. If I don't have to, I don't go no. I love. I don't go nowhere in the rain. I'm not walking around soggy. I'm grown. I'm not walking around. I'm grown. I'm walking around soggy, sitting somewhere and drying off all cold and stuff, sniffling and nah. I'm too old for that.
You know, you got to flip it up sometime, man. You know, sometimes you got to get out there.
In the rain,
Yeah,
Splash around in puddles and stuff?
Yeah, sometimes, man.
This week in news.
Oh man, I got a
A lot
good
of
one. Who wanna go?
bullshit.
Somebody wanna go?
Nah, go ahead.
Kick
I'm
it off.
Follow your lead. What you got?
The Girl Scouts
I heard they suing the
are
boys.
suing the Boy Scouts.
I can't wrap my head around it.
For what though?
Can you
I
explain
don't
it
know
to me,
what they suing them
please?
for, though.
What are they suing
Basically, they're saying that one, you're stealing part of our pitch to the girls. They're taking part of their girl slogan, the Girl Scout slogan, and putting it with the Boy Scout slogan when they recruit. They're trying to change their name from the Boy Scouts to the Scouts. So they're saying what you're doing is causing confusion amongst the people. They can't differentiate between the Scouts
They don't know, huh?
and the Girl Scouts. Now, the problem that I have is a few years ago, they were suing the Boy Scouts for not letting the girls in. It was a couple of girls that wanted to be, you know, I
Right,
guess
like,
their
why
brothers
should it
were
be?
scouting
Right,
and
yeah.
and they were like, you know, y'all got
Hit her with a thumbs up. There we go.
Yeah, so basically, you know, they're suing them for doing what they forced
What
them
they
to
sued
do.
them to
Right, yeah. It's
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
a lot of the Girl Scouts aren't with it though. They're like, you know, we just gotta get our
That's
we gotta,
why y'all the Girl
we gotta
Scouts.
get our we
Y'all
gotta
be
get our
the Girl
activities
Scouts.
up.
Y'all be over there. We gonna be the
I
Scouts. We gonna be
think-
all inclusive over here.
I think the issue is the rock climbing. Yeah, they're losing it. They're losing the 10. Look, we still need them. I don't care which one of y'all pumped them cookies out. We got to get them. So I don't care if it's the boys,
it's
the
enough
girls.
people
look.
for both organizations. People, this is.
I think the problem that the girls were having were the activities. Not every girl wants to go sew. I mean, not every girl wants to. I guess the curriculum was different. Some girls want to go camping. They want to go hiking. They want to start fires. They want to do.
Well, they probably need to incorporate that. They probably need.
And that's what some of the Girl Scouts, the heads of the Girl
yeah.
Scouts were saying. Instead of suing them for, what I'm saying, letting the girls in or taking your,
But are they two separate entities though? Like is it the Girl Scouts of America?
Yeah. So it's not. I thought.
One joint.
So what does one have to do with the other? They can do whatever
that's what I'm
they
saying.
want.
They like two competing.
I thought that they were.
They been girls.
I thought that they were
I
one.
hate to say it like that, but they been.
I thought it was under like
little girls about it. Like yes.
Yeah, you can say that. I can't say.
They been
that.
little girls about
okay,
it.
okay.
Why do you
You can't
care
say
what
that.
they
You can say,
doing?
they been girls. But nah, I mean, I'm saying
That's
but
what girls
think
do.
about it. Hold on,
They
hold
want
on,
to be in
hold on.
everything.
It's
They-
enough
hold
people
on,
for
I'm
both
sorry.
organizations.
I'm sorry.
In 2018,
I'm sorry.
everything is all
I ain't mean
inclusive
that.
now.
I
Think
swear
about
I
it.
didn't
In
mean it. I did, but I
2018,
didn't.
everything
I'm
is
sorry.
inclusive, man. Everything is inclusive.
Y'all busy,
now.
man. Just
You said they busy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry for that one too. It's just they just want to. You can't have you can have your own thing. Y'all can have all girls schools and y'all can have y'all own separate, but we can't have an all boys thing. I don't understand what this is about. I don't understand this new feminist charge to dismantle all things man while maintaining the whole
I don't think
feminine.
it's a feminist charge though, as much as it just is times are changing. That's all it is. You dig what I'm saying? Like certain
But it's
things we used
okay
to
to
look
have
at back
that.
in
It's
the day.
okay for us to have a space for boys to.
No, I agree. with that.
And
I
it's
do
okay
agree with
to.
that.
But you can't take Boy Scouts away and then keep your Girl Scouts. I mean, it just doesn't make sense what they're.
But they're not trying to take it away though, right?
No.
They just trying to. Some of the stuff y'all do, they want to know how to tie knots and. Do
So
all
the
that
kids
other-
can't have options. They can't have options. It just got to be just boom or boom.
But then you might as well just incorporate it all just the Scouts. It's two separate people. You know
So
what I'm
now
saying?
the
And they
Girl
just-
Scouts, what we waiting on them to get sued by somebody whose son want to be a part of it. That's
That
what.
might
That's
have
what's
already
next.
happened. That
That's what's next. My son wants to be a
Google
Girl
that.
Scout.
That probably
Let him
already
in.
happened. That
Let
probably
him
already
in.
happened. For real,
But
yeah.
now, and I bet you I'm willing to guarantee. I'm going. You know how you start going down that road. You don't want to go down,
Right.
but you
Go
feel
on down it. Go on down it.
I bet you.
We
that
waiting
some-
for a trans
I
kid.
bet you, no, not even.
Like
I bet
what?
you
Like
some.
what? We got them now.
I bet
We got
you some
trans
kid.
kids
No, I bet
now.
you some kid that's gay and probably 7 years old wants to be a Girl Scout, and I'm sure that they let him in. No problem. I'm pretty sure. I'm positive.
better.
In today's.
All of this ruckus they putting up
So I
Check
just.
it out.
about what they doing over there.
You got the Google machine. Go ahead, check it out.
I got you. Yeah,
We
so
can
that was
talk.
that was
We
that
got
was,
quiet like intently, like,
Right.
all right, let's check it out.
Anyway.
But yeah, man. I mean, that's just
What
where we
else?
at now. It's 2018, man. Yeah, what
What
else we
else?
got going on?
The election that happened.
Oh man, this idiot, man.
You know, I hate talking about him, but go ahead. You can talk about him. Go
My
ahead, do
only
your thing.
my biggest beef now is his beef with the media.
Fake
That ain't new
news.
though.
No,
Oh, the fake news.
this was ridiculous. Revoking the CNN guy's pass from the and
Came at Abby,
accusing him of attacking of assaulting the young lady that came to
Hey, did you see the video?
Yeah, I
They
watched
doctored-
it live.
No, they doctored the video. Did you see that?
I watched it. I know I watched it live. I didn't see a video. I watched it live.
C-SPAN has the copy of the joint where they show him hitting the hand, but he not really hitting it.
Yeah,
And
he
then
just-
the one that they showed with the White House was they kind of sped it up a little bit to make it seem like he really kind of. Yeah, that was like the new news today.
The Girl Scouts now allow
There
boys.
you go. Got him. Them joints smell good too. Yeah. See?
Woo.
The candy of the day, man. I'm telling you, man. That's how we
What's
do.
that?
Bag.
And they got emojis and
Avocado.
everything.
What's in there though? It looked like it's a gummy
Little bit of
worms in there.
everything. Worms in here.
They're all
some
gummy,
sand.
right?
What's it, though?
They're all no. There is.
Some
It's already yeah.
It
already-
is.
Yeah,
Right.
no
That's
problem.
what I'm saying.
No noise
And how
about
long
it.
ago- and how long ago was that?
Oh man, look, you gonna have me going all through this.
Nah, just what's the date on any one of them?
Oh, this
news
is
joints you saying, like-
2008, 2017.
Exactly. Right. And that's why I say we in 2018, man. So that's just
2017.
where we at.
Nobody.
That's where we at.
But why is it such a big deal when it's reversed? Like they let them in quietly, now they going out here and sue. I mean, it's just I don't know. It just seems so petty, kind of. Oh, back to the candy. I don't like my candy mix. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I don't like my candy mixed. I don't like anything mixed. I don't like. You got gummy worms, gummy balls, gummy bears, and
They all gummies though.
Nah, yeah, but
One
they still
big
different.
gummy
One big
family.
ass.
All inclusive.
When you reach in, I want to
Everybody
know what I'm
together
grabbing
in
when I
one
go. I
bag.
don't want a surprise gummy when I come. I don't want to. No.
Everybody in the bag holding hands.
Yeah.
All happy together.
And before we
The
get
scouts
into
of the gummies.
no, it's definitely not that.
Yes.
Oh, and petty. I said petty earlier. Speaking of petty, man, my man 50 Cent is waging the pettiest war ever, and I love every minute of it. You know, I don't get
Against
into
who?
the
You talking
Who is
about
the
the
name?
Ja Rule.
The Ja
man.
Rule joint?
So first,
Back on him.
so
He's
he-
back on
He
him.
bought the tickets, right?
right.
Bought-
So
yeah, bought like
Ja
200
Rule had a
tickets.
concert, and he
Yeah.
bought on Groupon 200 front row tickets so that when he performed, the front row would be empty. That was the first
Oh, my
petty.
God.
But
On
Ja Rule still got the
Groupon,
money
though.
because he still bought the ticket. So
Yeah, it was only like he
therefore-
said it was only $3,000, so he was like he was cool with
It
that.
that was
worth it.
$3,000.
Yeah,
that
right,
Ja
so-
Rule
It's
got.
Worth every penny.
Petty, it's so
But
petty,
look
it's
on the
terrible.
flip side though, he gave Ja money though. That's what I'm saying though. Like we
It's
could
still
look
petty,
at it like
man. That's
yeah, you.
petty.
So when you
Now
look
he's-
at it, you ain't gonna see nobody in your front row.
Now
But I
he's
got
trying
the
to
money
buy.
for it though.
Now he's
so
trying to buy this
But the
man's
thing
masters.
is, how were all
Trying to
the
buy his
front
masters.
row seats available for him to buy? Was
Oh,
it not
come
one
on.
person
Right,
that
just-
already beat him to the punch?
He had a Groupon. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. You
He
know
was
what I'm
on
saying?
Group- Nah, I wasn't
Nobody
on
got to
Groupon,
the
man.
seats before him.
His tickets weren't on Groupon.
He bought them.
man.
You
What?
can
On Groupon?
buy a trip on Groupon.
How did he get to the seats first though? Nobody beat him to the punch.
Everybody's watching Ja Rule.
Let me go get my Ja Rule
And then
ticket.
now he's trying to buy his masters. You know what I'm saying? Now he's trying to own this man's
And
career.
he's probably
that's
gonna
bad.
do it.
So petty, for no
Yeah, that shit
reason
get deep.
whatsoever. He's
Yeah.
so petty.
So great. And pettiness.
And that's what I'm saying. It's so petty though. It's
He
kind of
chooses
great.
to do. It's so
It's
awesome.
what happens when you
But
give
you know
petty
he
people
do that
money,
every
man.
time, though. Anytime
just
somebody
laying
get
back
into
thinking
it
of
with
stuff.
Rick Ross and all that shit.
He goes hard, but I mean that's
What
that's
can I
rough.
do to him today?
Oh,
How
that
can I
man,
burn him?
he
Yeah.
gonna buy his masters though. That's the pettiest.
Let me
That's
buy
petty,
his
huh?
masters.
Oh,
and then make money off of them.
This is crazy, man.
I'm gonna sell them to Target. Put them in a commercial.
Go ahead.
Oh, Fitty.
You don't find it
Shout out
funny
to
though.
Fitty.
You don't think it's funny?
shout out
I
to
mean,
Ja Rule.
Not really though, just because that shit is like I mean, you
It's
know,
terrible.
He been doing this for like what, about
15,
Oh,
you
man.
know,
years,
it's,
it's like-
it's terrible, yo. But this is petty. This is the pettiest thing I've ever heard. So
What's on the dock of the day, man? What we got today, man?
Today is all about the supernatural. Man. Supernatural.
Supernatural
So-
powers.
We have two empaths, right?
Okay.
At first, I had no idea what that was. I'm familiar with empathy, but not so much as what an empath is. And then when I put the post out there that it was going to be empath, everybody was like, "Oh, I'm an empath. I'm an empath." I was like, "Yeah."
Was that the voice that came through
That's
though?
always the voice when I get a Me Too. Like, I'm an empath. I'm an empath. I want to go. I want to go. It just sounds like a little kid. You know, that's my. I'm sorry, for everybody that said they was empaths
Oh
and
my
stuff.
goodness gracious, y'all.
But that's how y'all sounded to me. It just seemed so Me Too-ish. And I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, okay, everybody can cook, but you ain't a cook. You know what I'm saying? So on that level, I just don't think that you could just jump out there and be like, oh yeah, because I feel your pain. I'm an empath now. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I don't. So we're gonna get into what exactly that is. And then we have Baba Midnight back with us again.
Back once again.
And we're gonna get into, man, what voodoo is and what it isn't, man, because there's a lot of misconceptions about what it is. It seems such a, like, you know, Hollywood gives it such a bad, or media just gives it such a bad look. So we're gonna figure out what it is, and you'll be actually kind of surprised. So
All right, cool, man.
break.
Let's
quick break. I'm getting these
Teeny,
guns.
tiny break.
get some
Tiny
of these
break.
happy yummies finally.
Yeah, it's so good. We are back.
Once again, Two Real Radio, live and direct.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, what's going on, man? Y'all
Barbara
remember
Midnight,
the face?
y'all.
Y'all remember the face?
Right.
What
Told you. He was
And we
getting
did say
into
we was gonna bring it back.
because he was going into it. He was getting into it.
Yeah,
You
man,
know, we
in
were
his
running out of time.
word.
So
last time.
yeah, so we had to
We
slow
needed
down
some
real
more
fast.
time.
And you said you would come back, so we
And I
appreciate
did.
it.
So we definitely
Respect.
appreciate that.
Respect.
And I'm really honored to have you back.
Yeah, definitely,
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah, we had a good time last time. So for people that we know from the last show, but for people that didn't see the last show, you are Barbara Midnight.
Yes.
What is? Give us the story behind the name, Bob. What is?
Tell us a little bit about yourself
Baba,
again.
meaning father. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of spiritual godchildren and children in general. And I'm only 30 years old, so, and I don't have any actual biological children. But a lot of spiritual people come to me and comfort. You know, it's not all about the smoke and mirrors. But the midnight part is because I'm got this nice melanated skin. And so we just meshed it together. And generally, it's not a great thing to have your actual name out there all the time because a lot of people like me, we do a lot of good things, but a lot of bad people wouldn't like us doing what we do.
Right.
So we come up with these aliases and we run with that.
Shield yourself.
Cool.
Now, the people who know me personally know my actual name, and you all obviously can know my real name. But yeah, when you on these type of settings, you want to keep it on the level.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about voodoo.
Okay, what you want to know?
The main.
I know
thing,
you
the
could
elephant
probably
in the
go
room, that's
all
the
night,
main
all
thing.
day about, but real a brief, where it came from.
Okay.
What is it exactly, and a little bit about some of the practices.
Is it what everybody think it is? Like I'm saying,
Right. Straight
Two
voodoo,
Real Radio,
voodoo
straight up
dolls
down.
and then
Voodoo,
chicken
is it-
sacrifices.
is
Is
it
that
voodoo?
that's
Like,
what that's what the
Yes and no.
That's my
yes
question.
and no.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Okay. I need to know. All right. Some stuff, obviously, I'm not gonna be like, okay, we do this, but no. Ask me what you want to know. That's a better way to approach that.
The
situation.
black magic side of voodoo.
Okay,
The side of
but I'm black.
when I think voodoo,
But I'm black.
I'm
and
just
I'm
telling you
magic.
what comes to my mind when I think voodoo. That's all I'm saying.
What comes to your mind?
straight. Just it
What comes to my
has
mind?
it has. Okay, so when I mentioned voodoo to the people that were going to watch the show, immediately they were like, "Oh man, I ain't messing with no voodoo. Oh man, you better watch yourself. Then the whole." So is it that, or is that just what we've been fed?
Like a lot of things, I think it has a negative stigma attached to it that's not necessarily true.
I want to be completely 100% honest. Just like Christianity, just like Buddhism, just like any beautiful religion on this earth, voodoo is first and foremost a religion. It's not a practice. Outside of witchcraft, which is a craft. It's a craft. I don't practice witchcraft. I know some real witches, like the real deal, not the type that you would think, the little cute shit. No. These are real deal type broads who will tell you I deal with both sides. Voodoo is the spirit. That's God. They believe in one God. Most people don't know that. They believe, they see all these. No. You have angels, you have Loa, you have the Orisha. In voodoo, you have the Loa. The Loa, first and foremost, I'm sorry, I'm getting over myself. Voodoo is Haitian.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that. Voodoo is Haitian. So, and then you have New Orleans style voodoo. It's the voodoo that most of you would recognize. That's what you see, the voodoo dolls and gree bags and
Stuff they show on TV.
yeah. But know what it is first. A voodoo doll, first and foremost, can't harm you physically. It's a record. Does that make sense?
Nah.
It's a medical record.
Oh, you say a medical
It's
record.
a medical record. So if you came to me, you said midnight, my eyes hurt. I say, all right, I got you. I'm going to go make you some herbs up, give it to you. But remember, because so many people are coming to me, I'm going to make a doll of you. I'm going to put pins in the eyes to say, okay, he had problems with his eyes. And remember to pray for his eyes.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then you say, got a broken heart. Okay, let me make you up this candle. This will bring in new love. Forget about the old one. You better than that. Next pin, in the heart. So, but what Hollywood tell you is we go into these incredible trances, which we do. Like, and just start stabbing and cutting up shit. No, it's not really like that. Voodoo is the closest thing to the first religion on this planet. If not. In a lot of cases, a lot of us say it is. Then you have Ifa, you have Yoruba, you have Santaré, you have Candomblé, which is out of Brazil.
Branches.
Yeah, branches.
All from the same tree.
It's just like being a Baptist, Pentecostal.
All branches from the same tree
It's no different.
of life.
Yep. But we go to the earth. We believe God is too far away to bother with our petty problems. So he leaves his guardian, his angels, his servants of the land here with us.
So it's not a belief in God?
No. This is the belief in the supreme God, one God. But we
Correct.
have a belief in his energy as well. We have a belief in spirits that are here to help us. Our ancestors, ancestral worship first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? We go to our ancestors. We are the ones that wake up and say, Grandma, help me. Help me. I know you there. My baby's sick. You know what I'm saying? The doctor say ain't nothing. Grandma, help me. I know you knew the cure.
Right.
That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, and another thing, people mix up hoodoo. That's a thing. Hoodoo is a thing. Hoodoo is what you would see the violent shit a lot of the times. That's what you would see the candle work and the oils and that's that shit. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, people mix that stuff up. Voodoo is legit a religion. You go into that. You go into service. You go to church. You're dressed in all white, and if you see a chicken, that's for a sacrifice. Old Testament, if you look in the Bible, what did they do? They took a lamb to God.
Sacrifice to God.
Right, sacrifice, right.
We didn't break away from that tradition. But because the Catholic Church and other churches in general say, okay, New
Not gonna do
Testament,
that no more.
we ain't doing that
Well,
no more.
first of all, I will say
they-
we already know most black religions, it does get looked at with a stigma, you know,
Yeah,
in this
definitely,
country
definitely.
where we at. So
But they-
that's obviously why I'm
But
open to
everything black
what
is
you-
bad.
what
We've
you're
been
saying,
told
but it's right. That's
everything
what
black
they-
is bad. Black
But-
cats
Or how
are
they
bad.
portray it, right.
They've taken and adopted a lot of practices, incense burning and all of that type, and they've
And
taken
everything
that
else.
and they and they've
Switched
taken that
it,
and they
whitewashed
water
it.
it down a little bit,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, and
Whitewashed
adopted into their.
But look, with the African diaspora, if you look in the African diaspora, everything in that circle, we had the same practice. We just called it different stuff. The closest thing that the nation of African American, because the African American, and what is crazy, and I would encourage you all to look up the spiritual journey of our people, and the Americans, because the African American is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a different thing. It's a different animal because the African American is of every nature on this planet. Everyone. Unlike the Jamaican, unlike the Haitian, unlike the Brazilian, the African American has all that. So that means we are spiritually connected to everything on this planet. But we're the only ones who do not have a spiritual outlet. Voodoo is not ours. Yeah,
So
say
basically,
that.
you saying we got all this power and all this energy and
And
don't know
never
what the heck
called
to
on
do
it.
with it.
Never called on it. Never called on it. Because if you look up some of the Loa and how they became Loa, what did Harriet Tubman do? Her blood is under our feet and we've never called to her. We do what we do. We get on the internet. We research voodoo. You see Papa Legba, which is one of my patron saints. You know what I'm saying? One of my patron lord. And when you see Baron Samedi, you see everybody's favorite Orisha, but this is more saying people mix this shit up all the time. They mix up Orisha with Loa. Orisha is from Yoruba. That's when you see Oshun. That's when you see Yamanja. By the way, Yamanja is that beautiful mermaid that you would see on the Starbucks cups. That's her.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But these companies are using our magic against us. What is? And she's the goddess of the sea and the water. What is Starbucks? Water.
Starbucks.
A multi-billion-dollar company out of coffee beans.
Brown water.
Brown water. It's because they put
That's the
our
mafia.
goddess, one of our queens, on their product and pushed it right back to us.
Blessed your cup. He blessed your cup and then send it
Pushed
out
it
to
right
the world.
back.
Right.
And coffee is a main offering to Lord.
Right.
That's hilarious.
If you walk into voodoo shops down in New Orleans, you're going to smell coffee, tobacco,
All that good stuff.
and you put her on a cup of coffee. What's she going to do? She going to give you your money.
Bless you.
Hey, Starbucks is the mafia, man. They on every corner. They take over one block at a time.
And they paid their debt to her, too, because if I worked in Starbucks for years ago, and they give each employee a piece of it. So they ain't trying to hold it in because they know that black woman will come through this shut this whole shit down. So they say, no, we're going to pass this off. We're going to do right by it.
So it's a more like spiritual based type thing.
Everything is
Calling
all
on to the
spiritual.
ancestors.
Like
But
I said,
I do look at religion and spirituality different though. You dig what I'm saying? Like I think religion is more of how to live life versus spirituality is just
How you live life.
the
We
essence
are
of life, or
spiritual
whatever.
beings
dig?
having a
I'm
human
we
experience.
talk about that. I'm not.
Yeah, we talk
I
about it all
don't
the
do.
time,
I
man.
don't
Not
do
the
any
other way around, people.
Organized religion. I'm not a fan of any type of. I don't follow the Bible. I don't follow. I'm not going to church. You're not going to tell. You're not going to guilt me. And when you go, I'm not a believer.
But what if I
based
You
told
on
don't have
history.
to. You don't have to.
But if
But-
I told you I
but
could teach you.
There is
to-
something out there though. I'm not negating that there is something bigger than mine. I'm not saying it would be arrogant of me to think I am the end of the universe. Like this is it right here, human. That's it. It
But
don't
that's
get no
just
better
that
than
you're,
that. I mean,
you're a
it's
piece
not-
of the start of the universe.
Yeah.
That's that. See, and before I leave here, that's just what I want you all, because you all are my brothers and sisters. And I know questions is even bugging in your head right now. Can you do this? Yes, I can do a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But we are in voodoo. You'll see people dancing in the room. And by the way, I'm a non-initiate. I want people to know that. I'm an inherited practicer, so it came through my family. With voodoo, you'll see the center pole in the room. They spinning around this one pole in the room. You'll see something much like it in the Muslim mosque. Mm-hmm. They walking around this big ass thing, right? Mm-hmm. Voodoo, you think they get to turning. I'm talking about they turning so fast, you can feel the wind coming from them. But that pole represents the center of the universe. They're pulling the very energy from the throne of God. And it's a tale. You ever wonder why melanin exists? Why does it exist? Because you go over in Africa, there's all different shades of melanin. It ain't all just chocolate down. You know what I'm saying? And it was said that we are melanated because we were braced or bronzed by the first lights of God when he made this. And we kept those secrets, you know? They say in slavery, when they started the transatlantic slave trade, there were women in Africa. And you always seen it, and it was this fashion show. They had put this slave on the dress. And it's a common picture. It's a lady with the muzzle and the collar and this big thing. I always wonder what is going on? Why? You know what I'm saying? What was the specifics about this? And they said, and I found it in some papers that I was reading, and they had said the reason that this is happening, that thing that was on her mouth actually was a razor blade pressing down on her tongue so that she couldn't move her tongue. They said that muzzle stayed on her face for an entire generation, so her daughter or daughters could never hear her speak. But why? In the captain's journals, they said that these women were capable of speaking an incantation that were making the captives drop dead in their very steps. So they bound their tongues, still captured their ass, though, which was cocky as hell, but bound their tongues in their hands so that they can still work. Couldn't speak. Their daughters never learned their language, never learned their mother's magic. So imagine what we can do if we relearned all of that.
Oh, yeah,
And see, this the
oral
stuff that they
history
really
has
did,
been
y'all. This
lost,
that stuff
man.
that they really did. They really did that. They really did that. Go look it up. Do your research. They really did that, so it couldn't be passed.
It got lost in,
my biggest thing has always been with religion that, when I argue with people, and I love to when I have the time. I love when Jehovah's Witnesses knock on my door and they be like, "You got the time to talk?"
Yeah,
some days I be like, "Oh yeah, I really do." I sat out there with me and Jay and I had that conversation. But my thing always is, nobody could read, man. Nobody could read. So you're going into a whole bunch of, so if you, like you said, if you take away the ability to verbally communicate our language, you're lost.
Nobody could read that shit.
No, I mean, nobody can read, period. Literacy is like basically a 200-year-old concept, and you know what I mean, for everybody. I mean, so, oh man, we could really get into, hey, D's, can I get my graphic up there for the basic principles of voodoo? Yeah. I mean, we got
the misconception though is of voodoo as being evil and all that. That's a very
absolutely
very
wrong.
misconception,
Well,
right?
no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. It's great.
It's great.
It's great. It's a great practice because God's great. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
you want to pull the negative or pull from it, that you pull
it's,
from
it's,
it.
It's
that.
all of it's there.
Yeah,
all of it.
That's right.
You want to pull the light from it, and then it's that.
Like, tell me this: if nobody died, how would anybody live? If bad didn't happen, how would you know good exists? You know what I'm saying?
Something
you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Right.
You got to look at God as being a really great creature, a being of both sides of it. He created, if you're going to use the biblical text, he created the devil.
So we're going to get deep off of camera.
Though. Yeah.
Because we do, You already know what I'm talking about. We're going to talk.
But, research our religion. That's what you lost. This is what you lost. But they telling you the negative connotation that they're giving it is so that you don't go research what you're supposed to be practicing. That's basically what it is. I mean, it's, Caribbean islands, West Africa. That's where we came from, and that's what they trying to separate you from. What you're supposed to be doing. So,
absolutely.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for taking that.
Thank you for coming back to our show, Barbara.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
I got my little notes over here on my little legal pad. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, we're gonna take a quick break and then we're gonna get into this impact thing because I'm really, really, really curious about what exactly what I'm saying. An impact is.
To radio, small radio.
Jones is 22, 24, 26, 32 ounce pretty blue. Stuff in your puppy, snuffing with my buck stick. 22 cent booty pick, 24 make movie flick, 26 mile high club, 3 Sims in the bathtub, Geechee for the lap up. Pray to God you meet each other in the mother some. Ex used to hate me, cause I fucked her best friend. She wanted to be a lesbian, me too. Fat bitch on the E2, back boom on E2, beat you, slide to your own walls. Ebony, POV, met you on Pornhub. Hashtag all cats, fat ass no water. Fucking smarty daughter.
Him and Chuck, that's their thing. They like to scream. We're back with Miss Tracy Dunblazer and Miss Andrea Darden, right? Andrea Darden, okay. And they are spiritual empaths.
Thank y'all for coming to our show.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you
for having me.
Appreciate it.
I'm so like I said earlier, what exactly is an empath? Because like
He's
I said earlier,
intrigued.
This is my first time hearing that term today. I ain't want to say
apparently,
nothing, but
I'm an
I never heard of it.
so apparently, I mean,
Let's hear your voice. Is that what you sound like?
That's exactly what I sound like. Me.
so what is an empath exactly?
Super feeler.
Yeah, an empath, for me, I literally, when I started reading, I would take on somebody's energy and experience it. And because of that, I would have a deeper understanding of what they were going through. A lot of times, being an empath is really a new buzzword for people who are ultra sensitive, who are opening up to the fourth and fifth dimensions of energy, which means you're clairvoyant, clairsentient, and clairaudient. You hear and see and experience energy. And as you open up to those things, it can feel sometimes very victimizing, because literally the world becomes, on fleek.
Oh, there we go.
I've never gotten to use that word before.
Everything's magnified.
Magnified. Oh, it's
Super
crazy.
sensitive.
And for the first, for me, it was almost a decade. I lived in New York City when my transformation happened, and it's intense. And you just feel the barrage, and for me, when I first started my practice, meaning I started working with people, I didn't sleep for almost 3 years on and off. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but my business was 24/7.
This guy don't sleep. That's why I'm.
Yeah, I go through like years of periods of no sleep, and just an hour
Right
here,
before
2
reason.
hours there.
Yeah.
Now you said your transformation. What did you mean by?
For me, I was born psychic. I was born demonically challenged. I would experience a lot of entity attack and spiritual attack. I grew up in New Mexico, and there's a lot of conflict on the land, in addition to other energies and plus my own karma. So I had those experiences a lot for dreams, and my nighttime was very different than my daytime. They were very split. And so when I moved to New York City, and that's when kind of my world started to come together, and I started to explore more and really pursue all the different levels of who I was. I was multi-spirited. I had a lot of spiritual attachments. Does that
So that's
know what
something
that is?
you knew early? That's something you're saying you knew early about yourself, or?
Yes, absolutely, but it was kind of my secret. People would acknowledge it, and it would be to the, this, okay. They'd look at me and go, okay, but nobody ever said it, and I never spoke of it. And I would always meet other people who had similar experiences, and we just, and then when I became a professional is when I really started to talk about it and talk about it freely. Because it's mental illness. That's what they call it.
Right.
So if you don't want to be sporting, well, there's 5 of us, and you don't want to do that.
Right.
It's not good.
Don't miss that part, people. Don't miss that part.
It's not that way anymore. Thank God.
You might not just be crazy. Okay?
No, they're not
Other
crazy.
things going on. Okay?
Always.
Everything is not a mental issue that's bad, or you might just be gifted in a different way.
Well, like you said, like Bobby and I were just saying, we're cut off from our spirituality. So if you're constantly being bombarded with VH1 reality show, work, life, and you're not taking that time to explore that, then you could be
It's gonna fester like anything else that's unattended.
So
Absolutely.
for Andrea, for you, what is it like? Is it the same for you? Do you experience the same type of?
So it's a little different for me. I guess I'm one of those who was like, oh, I'm an empath too. So all my life I've been sensitive. I could turn on the TV and in the middle of a movie, just watching it for like 2 minutes, someone's crying and I start crying too. Like, why am I crying? So I understood after I was an adult that sensitivity is part of being being an empath. But, I can go out into a crowd and not feel overwhelmed and bombarded. And so that's also, I guess, still part of being an empath. What makes me different, I think, because than you, I didn't grow up having a lot of psychic experiences as a child. Actually, I didn't have any. And it was only until I started, doing deep meditation and really trying to develop my intuition and my psychic abilities that I actually started having experiences. And from those experiences, I learned even more that yes, I'm an empath, but I'm clairsentient, so I have a sense of feeling. I can pick up on emotions. That's why I can cry very easily if someone's crying around me. And I can pick up on other feeling emotions and maybe pain sometimes. But
That's how my mom is. Yeah. If someone falls or if she sees something happen to someone, she can actually feel like she'll cringe with the person. I'm like, what's wrong with you? You a weirdo. Like, you didn't feel that in your knees? Oh my God.
Oh yeah, you can tell her a story and she gets the she's there. She's
right.
And that's an example of someone who's just sensitive. And actually there are 20% of the population are what they consider highly sensitive people. And so, they just might experience these type of sensations or feelings differently than the 80%. And so I think you and I are probably part of this 20% of highly sensitive people.
You might be a part of the 20% if you're super feely.
Yeah.
No.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay, right?
It's not a bad thing.
Now you were saying you from birth, pretty much from what type? Because I have a couple things in my. I'm going through my own checklist.
Repertoire, right?
I'm going through my own
things that have
checklist of
happened
things,
to
and I'm
you.
like, okay, so like what? Like I have a thing where I can almost dream the future. So I'm stuck in the moment. I can't tell you. I can tell you what you're going to say next, but I can't say it fast enough for you to.
Right.
For me to be like, you're about to say this, but I'm stuck there while
So
it's
like
happening.
deja vu,
Right.
or not even that.
Deja vu. I think deja vu is like driving past the same place and you just driving past the same place and you might have the same person with you. Like I've done this before. Like
Right.
I'm talking about like I'm literally like I'm in my seat. I'm stuck on this ride for the
Right.
next 30 seconds or so that I can't get off.
Right.
But I may have had this dream 6 years ago. It didn't have any context then. But I'll be sitting somewhere and I'll get that sunken in feeling and I'll be like, holy shit. I knew you were going to say that. Like I knew where this was
Yes.
going.
And then if I tell you that, I'm going to look crazy.
Yeah. But I get that a lot. And I used to be able to dream lottery numbers. I can't do it anymore because now I can play the lottery. But as a kid, I would say, and even recently, I told my father when they were walking up on the porch, I said, yo, play 369 right now. It's going to come out. And he was like, yeah, that sounds like a good number. And 20 minutes later, 369 came out straight. And I was like, told you to play
I never
it.
had the gift of the lotto.
I wish
That one eluded you, right?
But those are the type of things that I would go through as a child. And, my aunt would always say, oh, you special. And,
Think of it this way. So there's a matrix, and there's all these dimensions and these plot points. Lines going this way, lines going there, and there's a point. And that's a dimension.
okay.
And you get stuck in one of them. And it puts you in a holding place. So there's a continuum, right? And so you get stuck in this place, but you're privy to everything going backwards and everything going forwards.
So
and
it's
then
exactly how you described it.
And you can switch in any direction. And every thought we have literally creates a new dimension. And then as we, let's say you want to make a lot of money, and so you put your mind on that to begin to make money, and then you that starts a whole new continuum of all the ways that you can do that.
Thoughts become things.
Right, absolutely. And even like, gosh, I wonder what it would have been like if I did X. And that's a whole level of energy that you've just expended where you're now going to start attracting what would have happened, right? Which is why they say to stay present, because you're spending all of this energy that you don't even know. It's unconscious.
Right.
It's going to answer that question. So one of the things that I've been really focused on of late is don't ask a question if you're not willing to receive the answer. If you ask why, then receive why, and then move on.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
I'm gonna tell you, it's
Don't do it.
When you were talking, you made a point. This lady that I knew, she was talking about that stand in the present, right? And she was saying how like every now and then, if she feels her thoughts slipping, she'll like grab her shirt or something, or rub on her hair or something, just to kind of let her know presently what she's doing to bring her back. So like I say, so I have heard that before, so
I live like that. I literally I have no idea what's going to happen. Like I have nothing planned next week, nothing whatsoever. I mean, I know I got to paint something, but I literally and it's done me well. I mean, people don't like it, and as a parent, my father's kind of like, "And what the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm
living,
doing great actually.
Right.
I'm kind of just kind of letting
living
the universe.
in the
I'm just kind of winging it."
But living in the present isn't not planning for the future, though, right? I mean, is it? You dig what I'm saying? Like, not to say that's
no.
But
Yeah.
I'm just asking though.
Well, I think you can still have your goals and make your plans, but you don't want to get too off track by thinking, well, if this happens and if this happens and this happens. You have to set your goal and be present in the moment, like she was saying.
I like to say, set it and forget it.
I've spent a good
I do
majority.
that with my chicken in the crock pot. Like I just kind of set
Set
it,
it
put it on
and
4
forget
hours
it.
and roll
Because
up.
if you dwell on it too much, that's what you said, it starts to pull in too many different directions.
And if thoughts are sayings, then what you're focusing on, if you're focusing on all the negative things that could possibly happen, then you're just drawing all of that to you.
Well, but let me jump in on that because they one of the things that I really drives me crazy about the New Age metaphysical movement is they is being in the present all the time. We have I had a lot of past, hundreds of years of past that I had to process in this life, and I've spent my life doing that, and so sometimes you have to be present in that. Like, so sometimes you're present in doing the work of processing and grieving all that has come before. Whatever is on you, whatever is in your spirit to do it fully now.
Yeah.
Whether it's the past, whether it's the present, whether it's in the future.
Right.
But
do your work.
Yeah, being present is more the concept of doing it fully. So that there's nothing left undone. To create a gap where some wasted bullshit can go. I don't know.
Okay. So what do you all do with your talents then?
Y'all gonna have to watch
as
this
an
one
empath,
back.
what do you
They
do
dropping
as an
some
empath?
Jews up in here. Y'all gonna have to watch this one back. I'm telling you.
Well, I do like to develop my intuition, practice. And so one of the best ways for people who want to develop themselves psychically and intuitively is really just to get out there and practice doing games. There's a group I go to on Saturdays in my hometown, and it's an intuitive development and mediumship group. So we practice giving psychic readings. We practice doing mediumship. We practice clairvoyance, clairsentience. And so this is one of the things I like to do in my spare time, but also in my practice I do past life regression, and I also do Reiki, which is pretty self-exploratory.
And I am an award-winning author of the Demon Slayer's Handbook series.
What?
These.
What?
So I
will show the people.
Yeah, show the people.
We got it. Look.
Oh, okay.
There we go. That's it.
I do stuff.
So I'm
I've
been in the industry about 25 years, and working professionally with people, and I like to take them. They come to me wherever they're at, and my goal is to meet them where they're at, and then hopefully facilitate them where they need to go, and that's individual for every experience. And in the last 5 years, I've been working on the books. It's a series. I've got 2 or 3 others coming out, and we just, if you saw the Rainbow Warrior activation deck, she was talking about working with a deck. Myself and an artist, Justine Cerebrin, created this amazing deck that you can use to learn to develop your intuition. Working with the artwork and coming up with what you can. It's the beginning of channeling, by looking at a picture and then receiving keywords and then
somebody made that.
Looking to
Y'all
apply.
hear that? Somebody made that. A deck to help you practice learning your stuff. That in and of itself is amazing. I mean, you can do anything. Follow your dreams, people.
Now, do you have to have the gift to start it, or is it just you can be taught it? You dig what I'm saying? Like, do you have to have at least something to bring to the table to kind of have a little bit of intuition, and then you can learn how to do it, or is it just
It's something for everybody.
it's like yeah,
Everybody
like
has-
right.
I
Everybody
believe that
has something.
everybody has I believe it's part of human nature. And so, like I said, I didn't grow up psychic. I don't even really consider myself psychic. I can consider myself intuitive. So if I can practice and develop myself and I can talk with dead people somehow, then other people can too. But I also feel like, just like some people are good at math, some people are good at music, you know, you might be more clairvoyant than somebody else, or you might be more clairsentient than someone else. We all have our own unique, you know, set. So that's why practicing your intuition is really helpful, because it helps you understand what your own unique combination of skills are.
Well, and the more you develop, you start usually with empathy and clairsentience, and then you open up to clairaudience and clairvoyance, and I mean, you continue to open up and receive information on a lot of different levels until you learn to master it.
Now, what about the skeptics? I mean, what y'all think about that? Like people who don't believe it, like it's just yeah.
Well,
I mean,
they don't.
it's
They
life,
don't
so
have
that's
to
what I'm
believe
saying,
it.
like-
You know, I do think if you experience for yourself, that's really kind of what you need. But if you're not interested in it, you're not interested. If you think it's not possible, or that's fine.
it's not
I
for
know.
you.
Yeah, I know. For example, that the human aura exists because not only have I seen it, now I don't see it all the time. I have to look, you know, but I've seen it and I've felt it when I do Reiki. I can feel it when when I bring my hands across someone's body, and I can sometimes pick up where there might be pain or, you know, some other things that might be going on. So for me, I just know.
Okay.
So.
It was exactly that reason that these books are written from the perspective of addressing and acknowledging and embracing the people who have those experiences, but also really explaining their experience to people who don't believe. Because you don't have to believe, just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it's not true. So there's got to be a common ground where we can all come together and have an acknowledgement and an acceptance. Okay, I see that this is how you
Right,
experience the
because
world.
Just because you don't believe, you can't be disrespectful to me because I do believe.
Right,
Or look at me as less of a person because I
stuck.
believe.
exactly.
I'm
Or
stuck.
I'm different.
Past from the first segment about being cut off from religion, and then hearing, you know, experiences. I think I might, you know, have a little something, because after a certain age, I mean, I started smoking a lot, drinking, and less sleep, so it doesn't happen. But when I do sleep, I get those type of, you know. But I make sure I just, you know, for a long stretch, I was drinking a lot, so those dreams just, you know, when I do sleep, I get
Maybe trying to numb some things. Or
I
not
get
pay
those
attention to
dreams.
some
I've seen some.
things,
I think
or
I've seen some
block
spirits
some things
before.
out,
I think
maybe.
I
I
might
don't know.
be. And then I have
Maybe.
an aunt who's a gypsy, a real live, you know, card reading, crystal ball, you know, charm wearing gypsy. So it could, like you said, it could be hereditary. So it could be pain. They said that grandma had something. So it could be. I'm a little stuck.
be. He doesn't know.
You get that feeling in your pit of your stomach, like, oh, this sounds like something I'm going. Like, I mean, I'm curious now. I gotta.
Well-
I told my mind blown. I've been.
A lot of
Got my notes and stuff.
your artistry is free flowing speaking. You get on a vibe and you just go with it. That's a part of being intuitive, because you're locking.
But I
on
can
to-
make you call me. Like, I can be thinking about you and you'll call me on the phone. Like, I'll be like, you know, I'm thinking about my brother. Today I did it. I was
Because
thinking
that's-
about my brother, and he called me right. I was like, I need to call him. And then 2 minutes later,
He called you?
he called me. He was like, what's up, young? And I was like, what's up? He was like, nothing. Just called you. I was like, oh, okay. That's cool.
But that's telepathy. I mean that's
That's exactly what that
That's-
is.
that's
Some
how
more
we
stuff I need on
communicate.
top of everything else I got going on. Some more problems. No, I'm just playing.
when I heard about your show, I was actually, the reason why I agreed to do it is because I was going to be I was in Philadelphia, and I thought, I saw it. I said, I want to do this, and I know she's going to call me, so I can stay a couple extra days and I'll come and do it. That would be great. And she called and she says, oh, but sorry, we changed the date to this, and I'm just like, fuck it, I want to do it, so I'm here.
There we
But
go.
my point is that I was like, okay, yes, this is happening.
Yes. This is happening.
This is happening.
All right. Well, oh, man.
It
I
happened.
feel good. I don't
Yeah,
know about y'all.
time
You feel
I'm
good
so,
about
I mean, I
just
feel I don't feel
positive?
bad.
I feel extra
feel-
special now.
I feel like I got to do some
Extra
research
special.
now. I
Thank
feel, you know,
I really appreciate both of y'all.
Definitely, man. Positive
y'all
thoughts,
coming.
energy,
We
all that
appreciate
good
it.
stuff. Is there anything that y'all would leave to the audience? Like if you wanted to impart any words just as an empath or just
Well, if you find yourself being sensitive, it's okay. And if if you have questions and you want to know more about your own abilities, sit quietly with yourself. Do some meditation. Trust your instincts when you get impulses. And even if you don't want to follow it because you're skeptical, because a lot of times we just make a note of it, and then in retrospect go back and see, well, no, I should have followed that, and then it'll help you to trust more.
Right. Believe in yourself. Know that whatever is coming to you is right for you. It's right for you. And sometimes I think the barrier between the information coming in and actually getting out can be a bit of a gap. So writing it out first instead of talking about it. People don't want to risk saying things that they're going to feel embarrassed for later. So write it out first, get comfortable with it, and then trust it.
And good point, actually, about writing it, because for years I kept, about a year or so, I kept a synchronicity journal, and just all the synchronicities, any psychic hits I would get, I would write them down. And so I can go back to that journal now and I can say, whoa, that really did happen. And it helps you to trust, the things that you do get.
Exactly.
And you can see how you get that information, so you can say, oh, well, I'm clairvoyant, or I'm prophetic. You get to know what your gifts are.
I want to say one more thing, and I know time's running out, but you just reminded me. When we need to look at each other and see each other for who we are, not who we think we are, or who we think someone is for all the 1,000 reasons, right? You want to look in their eyes and see who they are and deal with that. Deal with that first. So.
That's dope.
Trust yourselves, people. Your intuition will never steer you wrong.
Good statement. Yeah.
I'm stuck. I'm just like, trying to, just process. I mean, everything that happened today. So, where can they get it? Where can they find you guys? Social media?
Where can they find you?
TracyDunblazer.com and Amazon.
For the books.
Yeah, get that.
Amazon for the
And
books.
I'm
Look
on,
at that.
The Blue
Come on, y'all.
Lotus-RVA.com.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
The Blue Lotus-RVA.com.
Perfect.
Y'all heard it.
Westlock
Yeah.
71.
Westlock 71 for about midnight.
There we go.
Oh, man.
This was not a hell of a show. I'm sorry. Heaven of a show. It was a very, very, very good show. But it was pretty cool.
Positive,
That was
spiritual show.
Yes.
That was lovely
It really
and
was.
refreshing.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, hey, thank you all
Thank
for
y'all
coming.
for coming, man.
Definitely
That
appreciate
was great, man. That was great. I know what empath is now. We didn't.
He got some work to do.
Yeah, for real.
I want to update.
Yeah, I'm gonna be all in it.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Tracy, I got a couple people I could talk to about any type of dreams that I have, so they don't, they however crazy they may seem, they just listen to them, and so.
Love yourself. Love your neighbor.
Got a long spiritual journey to start taking. Let me lace my boots up. I am your man, C.
Jen Strong, lover of life.
Chuck Wagon.
Ladies,
And
sign
you,
off.
ladies.
Tracy
Thank
Dunblazer.
you.
Thank you.
Andrea Darden.
Two Real Radio.
Baba
See y'all
Midnight
next
over
week.
there ain't gone nowhere.